So again, 180 and then 208. That's if this really goes crazy today, which would be nice. If this could go all the way to $2 today, I mean, that would be great for momentum. That would be excellent. So said and so done, man. And not only did this thing go up to 207, but it got all the way up to 350. Absolutely impressive stock AHI. I saw it fairly early. After the live stream, I'm hanging out with MMU and Marcelo and then everybody else, the team over there. And it's like, hey, this thing might just break over $1. And boy, did it do it in some crazy fashion. Because I had an eye on this thing at 90 cents. And from the time, we got to 92 right here, when this candle opened up, low of 89, it's hanging around 90. The speed of which this thing got over $1, I couldn't even get my hand on the buy button and hit buy. When it started, it was instant. And, this is the thing that is so amazing and at the same time interesting about the stock market is how a stock can go from what it was earlier, right? Literally this, and not to say it was a bad stock by any means, because it definitely gave a good amount of opportunity. But, from 9:30 to 10:40, we went from a low of 61 to a high of 92. Pretty decent, pretty solid. Nice move. But it's as if, from that point on, it was a totally new stock. And it then went from 92 to a high of 208, coming into that resistance and trend line that we drew since pre-market. Guys, that is why we do our due diligence. That is why we do our analysis, so that we are ahead of the game, right? We are ahead of the game. And you know what the beautiful thing about the trend lines are? If they're not relevant, if the stock just rips right through, then we know we don't have to worry about that area and we move on to the next one, right? Looking at the daily chart, going back to areas where we had significant volume and or significant candlesticks and mapping them out. So, today we're going to talk about a parabolic stock, and this is exactly what this one was. Right now, at high of day, up over 800%, this stock. 800%, guys. Let's say that one more time. 800%. And, there's always this battle and conversation that's going on that's, large cap versus small cap. Which one is better? I like to say they're both, just as good and both just as risky, right? But when it comes to small caps, there is this opportunity and potential that stocks can go up this amount in one day. 800%. The Microsofts and Meta and Facebooks of the world, well, Facebook, Teslas of the world, will probably go up 10%, if they have earnings, right? At best, right? If they had earnings, maybe even 20%. But other than that, it's 1, 2, 3% move per day. Definitely provides a lot of opportunity. It's very liquid. But when it comes to percentage gain, small caps are where it's at. And this thing went from, about 40 cents or whatever it was today, right? I started after hours yesterday from 31 cents. It's absolutely incredible. So let's talk about some of the patterns, some of the setups, and, how I was able to get myself up $800, which quite frankly, for this type of move is not that much. I could have definitely done it better. Could have been more aggressive. Could have stayed here longer as well. Now, for the first, portion of this move, I did not touch this stock. We had other stocks that were in play, stocks such as CFRX, SNOA, XPEV, and so I did not touch this one up until it broke over $1, just from sheer, having other things going on, as we know, in the markets, opportunity cost. So as it starts to rip, we get halted up, and I'm going to show you guys one of the earlier trades that I had to start the day on this thing. So we're going to pull up some live trading from today, live trading archives, which I know you guys love to see. And of course, for all of our students over at MMU in the day trading course, you guys will have full access to this archive to go back and do as you please. All right. So let's fast forward In fact, we have a lot of fast forwarding to do. Guys, by the way, CFRX, you know, this stock in itself deserves a whole nother recap, man. You know, unrealized at one point, we're up around like 600. Just couldn't get the job done there, locking in the gains. Walked away with 205. So AHI. And by the way, look at how fast this thing goes when it decides it wants to go. All right, so let's come back. So look at this, 91, 92, 93, 95, 98, 103. By the time I realize what's happening and I just throw out an order, it's already getting halted up. I'm in too high. I'm like, okay, let's wait a little bit. Let's see what this thing really wants to do here. But look at how aggressive and fast that was, right? The right-hand side of the screen here. You know, it's so crazy, man. In my head, I was thinking, you know, should I just take 10,000 shares? This is before anything here started, right? I didn't have this type of expectation. But I was like, should I take 10,000 shares for a high if they break over 190? Or let's say 90 cents? I'm like, nah, that's way too aggressive on this slow day. This thing might just triple top. You know, but out of nowhere, just volume just gets in and it just goes. And we eventually do get a halt and the resumption. We're going to take the dip and rip here. This one is straight out of the classes, of course, right? Dip and rip. The dip and the rip. So here we go. Resumption is coming up. We're halted up at 103. And we're going to open up. It's going to pull back. It's going to hold up its lows. I'm going to jump in. And I'm going to ride the wave to the upside. Okay, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 103, opens at 101. It's holding. Some selling coming in, selling coming in. The drop is not bad here. So I'm like, okay, can we reclaim $1? The moment I'm in, we're starting to see green. And look at that, 16, guys. 16 for a great trade. So I was down $60, right? I was down 60 bucks. I can check my fill on that trade. And, you know, to be honest right here, I should have bought more shares. I should have been in at 6,000 minimum because I read the move so well. I read this move exceptionally well. Maybe I could have been in it slightly faster, but still, you know, I'm in and look at the fill. This is a terrible fill right here, to be honest. I'm in at 102. Let's watch this one more time. The fills, man. The fills. How's the spread? 99. Okay, makes sense. The moment I buy, okay, see, and I'm saying I'm a little late. The moment I buy, I'm aiming for 99 entry, but the moment I buy, I'm in at 02 because, you know, a little bit of volume came right before I got long. So that fill, in hindsight, looking back, is actually a great fill. In the moment, I saw 99 the last time I looked at the ask. So I'm assuming I got filled 98, 99. But it makes sense. And it's also why you guys are, you know, at times hearing me complaining a lot, which is something I have to stop doing because ultimately, 9 times out of 10, the fill that I'm getting is probably the right fill, right? Unless Thinkorswim, of course, is having lag, like the bad lag that we know of, which, you know, of course, then there's a problem. But we're selling between 15 and 17, and then this is immediately a great trade. You know, I had to at least make over 10 cents here because, you know, we're now up 391, and that was one of the first trades that we took. And it lets you guys know how much better I could have done. I also didn't size up from here. We had a lot of halts, but, you know, the stock is at 109. I'm essentially up 400. And, you know, between 109 and 350, I only made another 400, right? So it lets you know that I could have stuck around longer. So I did stop trading it. I stopped trading it right here. Once we got to this high of 07, and this consolidation kind of, you know, dwindled out after here, I'm like, you know what, this thing looks like it's going down. And it did before, you know, ripping to the moon right here. This would have been interesting to trade. I would have wanted to take part in this. It would have been fun. It could have probably, you know, another 80% move. Pretty impressive. But Relentless, you know, how come you didn't make more? Right? Let's pull up the chart on E-Trade. E-Trade's charting is a little bit better for this type of halted stock. Levels are more clear. So we saw the move through 118 right here. You know, some areas I was a little too aggressive in terms of my analysis, right? We had a high of 18, low of 110. Right here, I don't believe I got back in properly to then ride this wave to 128, so I ended up missing out this green candle. It does dip here to 15. You know, knowing the low is 10, not as aggressive as I need to be, right? High was 18, so between 18 and 10 is where support is going to be, but I'm not aggressive to take 15, 16 as it's a little higher up. I prefer it lower, let's say 12, 13, maybe even 10. So, you know, it dips, it rips again. I'm not taking part again. So missing two entries. You know, the high of day trade over 18, I think we're in. It's a little choppy. We don't quite get it. So, you know, like 3, 4 missed opportunities here. Now we start coming down, and again, it's holding pretty high. 17 and then 20, 17, 17. It doesn't come back low, you know, with, you know, let's say 12, 13. You know, once it pulls away right here, I essentially miss a low entry to be holding for longer for this bigger move. So then it became, okay, can we get some scalps? And we did. We got some scalps here and there. Then it was halted again. I think at this point we're up 700. It dips down and then it rips. And over here, we lost on one of these resumptions. Let's see, so over here we had a high of 48. It pulls back to 36. From 36, it then rips up, low 45, high of 62. I believe in a lot of the areas as it was pushing up. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. In a lot of the areas, we had the halt level up very close and us being extended from what the low was, right? So right here, even if we say, okay, the low was 15 to 17, high of day at the time was 28, we get to 30, we're already at the halt up level, 32, let's say. But the stock is not getting halted. It's like false halt, false halt, false halt, but it grinds all the way up here to like 45 before it finally gets locked in. So like most of what we're seeing in these green candles, actually for how I'm trading, was not even tradable. And again over here, right? So okay, it does give the dip after it gets up to high of day again at 50 from that low of 36. You know, and we did capture small trade in here. The halt level's there, halt level's there, halt level's there. Okay, it finally gets halted. Right here, uh, right here, I think is where I had the issue and had losing trades. This was so disappointing. We should have made at least 15 cents on 2,500 shares, but we're in. We're in at the very low of this candlestick, you know, like 66. We aim for 66 or 65 entry. We might have gotten a higher fill. The moment I'm in, red is coming in on the tape. The level 2 is already also a little laggy. I sell for a break even, taking a couple cents loss. And then I'm like, okay, over high of day, right? I'll try over the highs again at 70. It breaks 70. I'm in 71. It hits 73. Red coming in. I'm selling for a loss at 69. And immediately as I'm selling for that loss of a couple cents, it then rips. It, you know, this was disappointing, man. It rips up. So the first entry really and truly is supposed to be the only entry. Okay, I'm in towards the bottom of this wick and the stock is curling up and I'm holding, you know, from 66 to 70, 75, selling into the high 70s, low 80s. But we're chopped out once. We try again at over 70. We're chopped out again, and then it goes without us. So level 2 being, you know, I felt like it was a little laggy. Also, the selling on the tape that came through at that time, regardless of any lag, I'd be out, you know, because of any red on the tape in these areas. So, you know, just a little unfortunate. A little unfortunate there. That could have definitely added an extra, you know, 400 or 500 to the day, right? Instead, we took about 5 cents of losses, or maybe, yeah, about 5 cents on 2,500. So not great. And after this, you know, we halted down, halted back up, and it started to feel heavy here. Up at 08 at the resistance, back down. up at 08 or 05 at the resistance, back down. So if you had shares available, knowing that that daily level was there, this was definitely the chance to go short, especially on this second attempt right here when it stopped through the highs, even if you have to hold through a resumption up, unless it just, and it is dangerous there because if everybody's covering or most people are covering, maybe this thing opens up at like 250 or 230 or something crazy. So there's still risk even though you're approaching it with a tight stop, right? It's essentially for us long bias trader, hey, my stop is 5 cents, 10 cents, stock flushes down 30 cents. You lose much more than you plan to. Same thing going up. Hey, I'm in at 204, 204. My stop is 208, 4 cents. But if it gets halted up immediately and resumes at like, 35, there you are down 30 cents extra. But anyhow, it sells off, rips up. I missed this entire sequence here. And after hours offering some opportunity. So maybe this one's in play tomorrow, assuming it doesn't sell off pre-market. So that's the day, guys. And this is how we traded this parabolic stock. When it's all said and done, $854 for 2 hours of trading, because we were out of here around, well, 12 o'clock. Yeah, today we stayed a little longer, 12 o'clock. So from 9:30 to 12, a few hours, right? 3 hours of trading, $800, still pretty decent. We'll take this and we'll come back on Monday, right? So enjoy the weekend. Don't stress over trading. Don't obsess over trading. Have fun with the family, the relatives, the friends, the significant other. Go enjoy the world and then come back Monday, right? So study up maybe Sunday if you can, or Saturday whenever you're free. Study up just to refresh your mind, and then come back Monday ready to go, right? Besides that, for those of you at MMU, I'll see you guys at 1 p.m. for the Q&A Sunday. And this weekend, we will be utilizing Discord, so you guys can ask your questions right there. And we'll also be recording the session. So besides that, guys, check out those links down below for Momo Pro. This is the scanning software that I use. You can use code Relentless for 25% off. Also, be sure to check out the link for the Discord, right? The Discord is our chat room, and our chat room right now is still free, right? So you can still, jump on in here and have some fun. You can post screenshots and links and all these things if you're a certified member right now. So be sure to check it out. And besides that, we have Merciless Markets University. MMU, if you're living under a rock and you don't know about MMU is the day trading course that I offer. Yes, Relentless Trader does have a day trading course now, right? And Marcelo and myself, Marcelo, the other teacher and mentor here, you know, our initial marketing pitch was 2 6-figure traders for the price of one, but now you get a 6-figure trader in myself and a millionaire trader in Marcelo, right? Marcelo right now is on pace for $1 million this year, just about. So check out his channel at Mighty Stocks as well. And yeah, take a look at the course, right? This is everything that you get in the yearly subscription or quarterly subscription, whichever one you decide to go with. There's weekly lectures, the course itself, Q&As, Marcelo's live trading archive, my live trading archive, ultra low latency streaming through Discord, the MMU Inner Circle chat, and the chat room itself, and of course, one-on-one mentorship sessions. All right, so you can take a look at the curriculum. Of course, you can't watch any of the classes, but you can take a look at the curriculum and pace yourself as you go through. All right, Marcelo and I will be here to answer any questions throughout the process. And it is important to say that in terms of risk, trading is a business, and 8 out of 10 small businesses fail after the third year, I believe, or second year here in America. And trading is a business. It has to be treated as such. You have to, record keeping, data, experience, time, everything, effort, consistency. And traders do fail, right? But here at MMU, we try to go about it in the best risk-avert way possible, right? A safe and methodical way where you can manage risk, learn the strategies that we know, and give yourself a good chance at being successful in the markets. So if you are interested in learning, be sure to check it out, take a look, right? MMU, right? Merciless Markets University. And we do upload all of our archives here, so you guys will be able to see everything. All right. Stay safe, stay green. It's been Relentless Trader. It's been a good recap. And I am, of course, signing out.